Snot monster taking a beating. Cooked snot. Disgusting. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back for stream number 2 on the day. We, of course, had top 8 for Fright Night number 12 earlier today, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. Those were some exciting games. Those were some wild games. I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. A little hydrate action from Steven. What's good? Dino Nuggy? Or Dino Nugget? 711. Welcome. We're going to be jumping into some viewer games tonight. There are, as always, a whole bunch on deck. And we'll see what the viewers happen to have in store, whether they can top the insanity that was Fright Night. It's a tough bar to pass. We'll find out. Now, before we actually get into everything, I, of course, have to let everyone know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing content. Just letting everybody know as we get started. But as mentioned about Fright Night, if you're interested in Phobies tournaments, hit up links in the description of this video. Specifically, the Random Thoughts Discord. It's down there about like and subscribe button. Help me out with those, trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. But with all that out of the way, let's get to it. What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're having a good night. My shoulder hurts. I'm coming to the conclusion that I may need surgery to fix this. Like, it's just not. I've been working on trying to improve it, and it's just not. It's just not. You're good? That's good to hear, Steven. I need to... Not happy with the way my out sometimes. Can't get it to stay down. Doing great today? Even better. Even better. So, we're going to jump in here. We got a little Dino Nuggy action. Let's see. We got Dino Nuggy to start the night off. This came down to the wire, and I fumbled the game. Not like this. We are on Xylo. Map that it's kind of easy to fumble the ball out of bounds, maybe out the back of your own end zone. It's the NFL playoffs, chat. So I hope everybody appreciates that I'm missing the playoffs to do these events. I will not skip the Super Bowl, chat. Hashtag just saying. Warning everybody now. We're getting an interesting opener. Bad guy with a little Tooth Fairy action. Match it with the Tooth Fairy. We saw a lot of Tooth Fairy today. A lot of Tooth Fairy today. It's not very surprising. I think people are finally recognizing the value of creep against these 3-cost flyers, whether it is Murder Wing, whether it is Tooth Fairy. Interestingly enough, we don't have a monster or mechanical 3-cost flyer. Why is that relevant? Well, because creep and poison. While I'm not a huge fan of the poison mechanic overall, it is relevant that it pushes extra damage against these lower health targets. So it's way more of a threat. Now, Murder Wing, of course, can leech a little bit. Tooth Fairy can heal. There is a spa, so it's less of an issue. Spreading the damage a little bit here. Cyclops coming down in order to eliminate Bachelor, which was kind of aggressive to begin with. I don't love the creep here, even though, as mentioned, it's kind of an answer for these 3-cost flyers. Just because there's a spa on this map. It's trivial to go cleanse the poison here. It's barely a tempo loss. Now, we do have Innocuous coming out of Bad Guy alongside Squiggles. That's a thing that can be done. That is a phobia you can deploy on the board. I don't know if I love it in this scenario, but we're doing it. Apparently, that's a thing that is happening. Hot Shot's going down onto Tooth Fairy. It is regretting some of its life decisions. Due to the body blocks here, Innocuous is safe. Can't easily get at other stuff. You can get a takedown. Ooh, this is a good... Wait, you're not going to go for it? Can you not kill it? Oh, that's rough. I was going to say you clear this stuff out, then you swing the Tooth Fairy into here to eliminate the Innocuous thanks to the stim, but that isn't going to happen. Instead, you have to kind of body block out. Trading 1 keys here, I guess that's acceptable. You are somewhat vulnerable to follow up, say, snowball. You know, like shot. This clears out the cat, and then snowball. Is that enough damage? That's just uncomfortable all around. That's just uncomfortable all around. In conjunction with the Maggie, this is very likely a dead Cyclops. Don't even need the snowball. Maggie sneezing on stuff, taking down Cyclops. Positive trade in bad guy's favor, not great. Bloat, huh? There were a couple people in chat today for Fright Night that were heavily pushing bloat, and like, I don't know. I'll be honest, it's sometimes very difficult to evaluate newer phobies because so many of them, including bloat, are like, well, I have a lot of stats. Okay, you got stats, but does it matter? And if you're a stat-based phobie, we may not really get a good look at you for several months because it just takes forever to get the appropriate upgrade cards and stuff. Not great thus far. Did I misread the notes? I mean, the notes are indicating this came down to the wire, but right now it kind of feels like our hero is getting bodied. Just getting cooked here. This snowball's been hanging out down here on the stem for a while, and I'm not a huge fan. Squiggles does go down. The Stairmaster is kind of sort of vulnerable, but not really. Panic point advantage still in favor of the bad guy. 10 keys to 15 remaining. Bonk. Gargle's hitting you with that giant potato that it carries around. Taking some pot shots, and this is a dead erratic, isn't it? Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, that hurts. That's just not good. Oof. This is like -7 keys. We do really need a in-game counter for this sort of thing, just to make it easier at a glance. I don't have to sit there and pause and count it up every time. It's not the end of the world. It's just kind of annoying. Jar will take things down here. But bad guy's still occupying this stem. Like, this just... This feels like a beating. Honestly, like, does bad guy throw away a whole bunch of phobies or something? Because this doesn't feel like it's going to come down to the wire. This kind of feels like the game is already over. Got a double mechanical, double electrical for the double mechanical up here. Bees! Baby snaky. Chomp chomp. The dimensional is awkward there. So, this could have been done a little bit better. Like, the Gin Sting could have attacked the gargoyles from one space back and then got pulled into this space. But I guess this is fine. The reason I was thinking is that, man, 365 health, but there's still several turns. All right, Gargles goes down. Body blocking the heart out here, claiming panic points. Not quite a dead Innocuous. Close, but not quite. Can't ever give up another panic point. Cannot ever... Wait, really? Okay, I was gonna say... Can't you just take this panic point? I don't know if... So, okay, you can give up one panic point, I guess. You gotta claim them back this turn. Am I missing something here? This is 140 health. These panic points do 225 damage. Why did bad guy not just claim this panic point with the Cyclops? Would that not have just ended the game? 1, 2, 3? I love the play here to get the splash damage. Unfortunately, I think bad guy's going to recognize the play that they could have made last turn. This has 1,300 health. No, there was no way to kill this Cyclops, unfortunately. What is bad guy? Okay, bad guy is just taunting now. Like, there's no way that they think this is the correct play. Ouch. Ouch. Shout out to Dino Nuggy for submitting a big L. There were several plays in that game. Like, the defense almost got there. Absolutely true. But there were a lot of plays in that game early on where I think our favorite dinosaur could have stabilized sooner. Just, they hemorrhaged a bunch of units that didn't seem like they needed to die. Certainly not at the time that they did. And as a result, bad guy got out pretty far ahead. But GG, well played. Almost pulled that one back, especially since bad guy was either being overconfident or taunting. It would have been great to see pull it back on that one, but GG. Yeah, that one's kind of tough. Kind of tough. It also disappeared. Isn't it favorited before? Horse fetus. The hell of a name. The internet is full of very, we'll say, interesting games. Okay, I'm pretty sure we did this one. I think that's the same one. Yeah, that was that one. So we had Potenzia submit multiple games and submit the same game multiple times by accident. So we're going to look at a different one. Date game was played. This says 1-6. This one might have fallen off the profile because this says the game was back from 12/29. That one's gone because it's supposed to be against Shinra. This is a Shinra game, but not the correct one. So we're going to say that that one fell off. Then there was another one against Master Dark on the 29th, which I don't know. I guess it's this one. We're going to go with this one and we'll hope. All right, so hopefully we got the right game here. Oh, you unfavorited it. Okay, okay. So hopefully we got the right game here. There was an issue where Potenza had submitted not only multiple games, but accidentally submitted the same game multiple times, so it was a little confusing getting this squared away. But the notes for this in Potenza versus Bad Guy Master Dark, this game would make DT very proud. All right, well, let's see. Get a little numbskull action to start. Both of these players top-8'd Fright Night 12. Some very incredible games presented by both players. You'll have to go watch that video. Maybe I'll add the thumbnail in here. If I remember to do that during editing. So we do get an early Hydra. Now, the answer from Master Dark is, in fact, Ice Cream. We talked about this earlier during some of Master Dark's games. Ice Cream is a favorite of theirs. I love this numbskull just blocking everything out. Would this have happened if Master Dark's opener had either included Stabby instead of 2-1 or Unicorn? I have to wonder. Unicorn cannot threaten in a single volley the numbskull when it's on level. Although trying to calculate the levels, exact values, because I was doing this offline in between Fright Night and viewer games, it's a little challenging, and the reason for that is, tell me this thing is just dead. No way! Chat! Sizzle, we've been talking about. Oh, this is at level 1. This is at level 1. I wonder if this was frenemies. Sizzle and Hydra. The Sizzle to counter the Hydra. Oh my god. I cannot unsee the burning ear hair. I just can't. It bothers me now. The Ice Cream, just full retreat. This is the oh shit moment for Master Dark. Notably, Jar, in fact, does go down. Numbskull actually getting a hit. I don't love the sizzle attack animation. I don't love it. Tooth Fairy to supplement the team. Master Dark's in a rough spot. Yes, Cassowary will go down, but Potenza is trading key efficiently now. I don't know about that Finnegan. I guess it's fine. Little boom action. We saw a lot of boom showing up earlier today. A lot of boom in the top 8. Able to make some significant plays as well. I know I didn't finish my point from earlier, chat, but the sizzle, like, completely destroyed my brain for a second. I have no idea what I was trying to say any longer. Completely gone. We get a heal going down on Ice Cream. Baked goods with ice cream. I guess that kind of goes together. Does anybody put ice cream on, like, a muffin? Is that a thing in anywhere in the world? It feels like it's not, but I don't know. All right, Master Dark banking up to 9. Potenza at 8. With the panic point advantage, with a very defensible position, this has become a Master Dark staple. Brony. Get bronied, bro. Unfortunately, for Master Dark, doesn't seem great. Gonna block that brony out. Notably, Numbskull still pretty tanky, able to heal up despite the damage earlier. High 5 coming down. But as long as you split the forces, this seems like it's a tough brony map. It might not be. Like, High 5 has to end up here. Which it does, because otherwise Brony swings in here, and then it either turns off all these, or it turns off this. It can't do both. But right now, if you don't Brony the High 5, if you do not Brony the High 5, I think you just lose. Get the freeze going down on the Hydra, but, yeah. freeing up for some more damage here, but the high five is going to be able to clear this out. That means Sizzle can go over here. Brony is body blocked out. You're not going to be able to take down the Sizzle because you only have these three in order to fight it. And that assumes that you don't just clobber the heart this turn, which is like, that's 900 damage. Bonk. At the power of high five. It's a thing. It's a thing, chat. Karst is on to something. GG. Very interesting game. We've been seeing more and more high fives since transaction decline came in, and it's interesting to see it start showing up on the other maps now. Imagine getting slapped by high five, how much that would hurt. I have a feeling it might not hurt that much, only because you are likely to be unconscious. Like, if you're unconscious, it's difficult to feel pain. And if they get a second hit, you're probably not there anymore. And then, you know, as far as I know, you don't feel pain if you're dead. I'm not an expert, chat. We get a little, Edgar Allan. I'm pretty sure this is Edgar Allan, not Russell. Kuro, yet another top 8 finisher in Fright Night number 12. Welcome. Violence! Also my boy, Bad Side. Let's get it. Our hero here in the blue trunks, Kuro. Also, I'm not just randomly yelling violence. It's actually violence, exclamation point, in all capitals. So I felt compelled to shout the word, chat. Now, Kuro with an interesting opener here. Normally, you see Snowball Cassowary in order to fight back against the first player, Snowball. Here, instead, it's Bad Side and Razormouth. So here's the question. How many Phobies walk on their hands in general? Like, we have Bad Side. Contortio, right? To a degree. I mean, he's kind of like bent over on all fours, but I'll count it. I'll allow it. What other Phobies walk on their hands? I guess, because Contortio feels different than the four-legged Phobies. Like, yes, technically the paws are hands, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, Contortio feels as though it's supposed to be a person who's walking on all fours, which is different than something that typically naturally walks on all four, right? I feel like there's more Phobies that do that, are there? Puppy's laying right behind my chair, so I can't move, chat. I'm not allowed. Impossible. Not allowed. Pterodactyl? Haven't seen one of those in quite some time. Or did we? Did we see one today when we were on, This Might Sting a Little? I'm not sure. His Bad Side has done nothing. Like, what is it doing? Rambolina? Alright, that might be more surprising than the Bad Side. Not Rambolina, what am I saying? Mr. Tramples. Mr. Tramples. You played Terror against a Markin. Fair. Get a little noxious action to supplement the other flyers. I don't think that's very good here. I mean, you could hit the Bad Side, but, like, you have a mechanical and then a monster which can heal on the spa. It's also a 3-mover. Like, I don't think Noxious is... Noxious is fine in general, so it might be okay here just for the damage, but, like, poison certainly doesn't matter. Not like it does anyway. This Hevo, I assume, is safe. . Gonzo Bonzo. Now that's more expected. Gonzo into Noxious, certainly a threat. Certainly a big threat. We're going to get a... No, just a plain attack. We're not going to get a Mr. Trample's play. This is a dead... Really? So, this may be a trade here. Because you can Gonzo the Pterodactyl, and I have to imagine one of these two die. But the follow-up here with Noxious onto all of this stuff with the additional pressure... Not bad. It's not bad. The real thing is going to be how many Phobies die. It's going to be at least one of these two. Can the second one go down? I'm assuming not. 2k plus damage. Down goes Mr. Tramples. Got in a single attack. Not exactly the most impressive investment. Puff. So we got the original, and we got extra crispy. Waiting to, like... We got original and extra crispy here, chat. That might be the intro for this. What level is the pterodactyl? That's a level 16 pterodactyl. Our hero is kind of about that level. I mean, the Noxious is under-leveled, but everything else is... Ooh, that's a level 17. Level 17 snowball. Holy crap. Looks like that jar is about to get splish-splashed. The usual with Bachelor. Bachelor feels bad so often. It's kind of wild. Softening up the Hevo. Our hero's really putting the pressure onto bad guy here. However, was this bait? Was this bait? Because they're about to get booked. Bad guy wishes they had their Gonzo back right now. Huh, really? I mean, I guess you can do this. I was kind of expecting this bomb. I mean, that works. Fetch? Really? I guess it represents a lot of damage. The displacement probably doesn't matter. Bad side doing its best to hold that Hevo in place. Do you have enough damage to kill this? I guess you do with the Hevo, right? The Hevo's going to guarantee it, but your Hevo's going to go down. Still 7 keys for our hero, though. Ha! The matching fetch. Along with Cassowary. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Just taking some notes real quick, chat. The bad guy still has their flyers available, still pretty healthy. For a Resurrect's fetch to their own side. Something like that. Gotta reposition here because there isn't, like, this should be live, right? This is live. Is Gonzo live? Oh, boy. You can't get a bomb here, though, right? Because you can't end up here. Bad side gonna eat them pterodactyl hits. This does reduce the surface area to hit the puff. panic point advantage hero, though, and there is a decent amount of damage going down. Took everything to kill bad side. Yeah, bad side was super tanky there. So compared to earlier in the game where bad side was kind of lagging, this is almost 3k health at level 12. Like, that's a lot. Can the bomb go through obstacles? Yes. But you still need the line of sight to begin with. So if, for example, you know, there was something here. Let's assume, like, this obstacle is broken and you put Puff on the healing spot. You could hit the cassowary and then hit something back here and back here, but you still need the line of sight to the original target first. I had a feeling this is how this game was going to end. I had a feeling. There's just not quite enough from bad guy to both cap points and deal with our hero's forces. Fetch represents a lot of damage. 852 damage. Puff looks kind of cool there. I think Puff looks kind of derpy in its regular, like the way its head is shaped. But in its profile and animations, I think it looks good. GG, well played, Kuro. Sticking in there despite... It was looking bad, to be honest. But bad guy offered up things at bad times. Our hero was able to capitalize. Takes the W. GG. GG. Sorry, I had to check the list, chat. So I think we're on game number 4. Phobos. I was going to say we're coming back to Vile Vortis, but it's actually Phobos here. Succubusaloo is our hero this time. To be fair, I just dove in. They offered it because I took him. True. Sometimes you gotta make the opportunities. It's not just what bad guy offers you. So our hero here in the blue trunks, notably only starting with a snowball, interestingly enough. The bad guy doing the classic response, Gravedigger into snowball here. Completely reasonable thus far. So what was the bank to 6 for? We actually get Gravedigger into Tooth Fairy. The positioning on Tooth Fairy is interesting because it didn't have to be there. The snowball can obviously cap this point, so like Tooth Fairy doesn't have to be here to cap this point. I don't know what the advantage is to putting it in this position. Either way, we're going to even out the panic points. Dueling Gravediggers. Dueling Cyclopsises. Okay. It's odd. 3 shots going down on Grave. Alright, we're going to... Apparently, both players have agreed to just mirror each other. Those reasons. I guess. I don't really know what's happening here. That looks like a dead Gravedigger to me. Cooked Gravedigger. It's a tough job. Those are the occupational hazards of being a Gravedigger in the world of Phobies. Bad guy can, of course, retaliate, but without the leverage of the stim, this is going to get difficult. Baba Yaga is not what I would have expected as the response. Now, our hero can take the top with impunity, almost, while continuing to press the advantage. And this is part of the big issue with Phobos, is that it feels super snowbally. It feels incredibly snowbally. Little noxious action going on. On top of controlling the stem, because there are so many dimensionals, yeah, you can do some stuff with challenge plays. But ultimately, yeah, bad guy's just in a horrendous spot. This is a 5-to-1 panic point advantage. I don't know what the Baba Yaga was supposed to do, but it is not doing it. What are the phobie levels? 15. 13. It looks like the Tooth Fairy's standing out. I'm not sure why that got deployed. This looks pretty cool. Not quite dead on the Baba Yaga. The Baba Haha lives for now. That's a Hevo 2.0 in conjunction with Finnegan. There are going to be some things booped into the oblivion. Into the abyss, if you will. Akira! Sure. This feels like it must have been going on. This game was played during a dimensional event or something like that. Tooth Fairy is so gross. It's actually comical. It's actually comical. Oh, chat. Asking because I don't know why there's dueling Cyclops. I have no idea. Like, literally none. I'm not sure why the Hevo was positioned there either. What is bad guy doing? Bad guy, baby, what is you doing? Alright, so Baby Snakey's just dead. Why did that happen? It didn't need to be this way! It didn't need to happen! Rambo. Oh, look, there's a Baba Yaga trap. 1,410 damage. Get wrecked, nerd! Oh, look, it's bloat. This is why bloat is pointless. This bloat, let's see what level this bloat is. This is a level 11 bloat. It did 195 damage. Like, yeah, this Gravedigger's gonna die. The bloat was required to get the damage, but, like, bloat sucks. Bloat is not pointless. It's beautiful in its own way. Fair. All right, we dropped the damage to a mere 940. Boop! This one I can forgive a little more because it's kind of like, what the hell was bad guy supposed to do? But, yeah, get wrecked. We haven't seen a funny Rambo boop like that in a while, but well played, Succubus. Well played. I don't know what the hell bad guy was doing, but those were some decisions. Those were decisions that were made. Can't really agree with any of them, but, I mean, it is what it is. All right, so time to take notes. Class is in session. Karst up against Dragon. Karst is our hero here. The notes being an example of how to play for tempo in detention as player 2. It's funny because, like, is in detention or is it on detention? Because you're on a map, but you are in detention if you get assigned detention. I'm not sure exactly how this works. But either way, Dragon going with A 1 key and then a bank to 5. Seems sus. Dragon's hellbent on keeping this set of 5 keys. I'm not really sure why. But Karst opener 1/1 unicorn definitely makes sense. Common thing on this map. The cassowary, of course, is going to shoo away the razor mouth. If Dragon banks to 5. What are you banking to 5 for? Is this just mind games? What is happening? And honestly, yeah, Karst, like, take all 4 panic points. What are they going to do? Reclaim it and then you get it back? They want boss, I guess? But if you want boss, what is the jar doing here? Like, what is the jar getting you here? Because it's... I guess you might not have been able to kill that without... You would have been able to kill it. So, like, I don't know. You could have had those 3 keys available. Boss could have been down this turn. Dragon is banging for the the only bloat, obviously. However, Dragon has clearly given up on the boss plan, instead pushing ahead. And this is the kind of thing that I think needs to be feasible on maps where we constantly see, oh, I'm just going to stall the board out and go for X large unit. If you can pressure them, you can put them under enough strain that they can't just simply bank to their big guy and take over the game. It needs to be costly to do that if you're giving up that much tempo. And here, I think that's exactly what's happening. Going for the takedown here on the corn definitely makes sense. Problem is, there is a trap there, meaning that cat's getting cleared out, and this may be a dead Jin Sting? Because jar, pop goes the razor mouth, and all of a sudden, chomp, chomp, chomp. Hydra coming in, 3 very hungry mouths, and a defeathered bird and a bat. 3 hungry mouths, a defeathered bird, and a bat walk into a bar. They say, ow. I don't know. Down goes Cassowary, but still a 3-1 panic point advantage. There isn't really enough damage right now to threaten the Hydra, I don't think. Well, I take it back. If the Hydra walks up here, maybe. Because you do get 2/2/2 plus this. That being said, you're probably going to have to sink everything into it, and that means that you're not going to claim the Murder Wing or the Jar. And now it's 4-0. This is very well played by Karst, and exactly what I would hope would happen to counter the bank to whatever strategy. Now, that is more viable than not on some maps, and other maps it can be more challenging. But this is a 13-turn game. And a clinic put on by Karst on how to properly and appropriately respond to some of these things. Recognize what your opponent's doing. Identify the weakness in what their particular strategy is, and then exploit it. Seems good. The bird is killed by a potato, and the bat and 3 heads go for the heart and retaliation. I mean, that's how the fairy tale, or I remember how the fairy tale went, right? And at least one person in this exchange lived happily ever after. All right, I think this is game number 6, and this has got to be somebody new. I don't remember this name at all. So I'm pretty sure this is a new player to Game Breakdowns. If you're interested in getting your own name up in lights for a little bit, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link for that will be in the description down by the like and subscribe button. You know how it goes. Got to get to them 1,000 subscribers, but our hero here is Warlord 5122. Droney is the hero on this map. Not only gets early panic points, but also secures 3 kills this game. a little assassin droney action, and a little hydrate action. When did the enemy surrendered part get added? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Bad omen out of bad guy. I didn't check what the stress levels were. 12. Well, this is a decent leveled game. What happened to the previous 5,121 warlords? I don't know if you want the answer to that question. With a name like Warlord, I think we could probably guess. Have you ever heard the phrase, live by the sword, die by the sword? Tooth Fairy's become ubiquitous. It's everywhere now. So, bad guy, bad omen, and sheep. Not bad sheep, but bad omen. Oh, you love to see the honorary good boy showing up on the map. My good girl isn't hanging out with us tonight. Oh! It's like I summoned her. She just came down the stairs. Hi, baby. Where's a good baby? Lay down. You're a good girl. Hold, please. You can kind of see her in the back. Who's a good girl? It's a good baby. She's a very good baby. Should have named my alt Pinkie Pie or Pokey and played the most OP Phobies ever aggressively. Oh, Pookie? Why does that sound familiar? Either way, whoa, there's a Baba Yaga. I didn't even notice that. Little Baba Haha action. Cat going down, paying with its life. Stabby, maybe regretting some of its life decisions as well. Sheep coming in. This is suddenly looking less than stellar for our hero. That being said, we will probably get a booped cat. How is the snowball going down, though? It's what you call the homies. That's why it's familiar. True. How did you know? 10 damage. Wait, how much is this reduced to? 166. Okay, so we just had 10 health left. It would have been funnier if the stabby was reduced to 10 damage. Droney doing its best to escape to the top. A little oopsie baby. We haven't seen an oopsie baby in a while, chat. We haven't seen an oopsie baby in a while. But making its presence felt here. Interestingly enough, the Finnegan just doesn't move. Finnegan just don't move. Bad guy taking a panic point advantage, at least for now. I don't know about that one, bad guy. That seems like an error. Smother Mother! Somebody's going to summon Master Dark with that one. Stabby taking down the Tooth Fairy. We do have the potential here for a yoink off of the Smother Mother, but there isn't really a lot to follow up, so we may see Smother Mother just go in for the purpose of slapping some things, but with 2 displacement tools, it's not unlikely that Smother Mother gets just dropped off right in the pit as well. Smother Mother this thing is just dead, isn't it? Okay, maybe not. Wait. There. Hold on. If you would put Spider here, yoink the Smother Mother to here, and then put Droney... Okay, so Cowbell here, Droney here. Well, yoink, Droney here, then boop. Would it end up in the pit? Like, that works, right? I have to draw this out. So, if you were to... You put Cowbell here. You swing Droney to here. Obviously, it happens after the spider goes here and then pulls the Smother Mother in. Then you boop. Does it push it this way? I'm not sure if that works. Regardless, our hero didn't go for that. Droney instead coming in, sniping some things, assisting with the takedowns. Whoop. Ooh, we get the power down. I don't know if I love that. 450. This is still... Did it not apply? I guess I paused it before it applied. 657 damage. Still a decent amount. Boop. Gesundheit. I don't know about that one. We do get the stimmed. Yeah. That's a dead spider. However, the Smother Mother is in range of the Oopsie, is in range of the Gesundheit. It's in range of the Droney. 5 keys remaining for bad guy. We got 10 for our hero here. Almost a dead Smother Mother. Is it a dead Smother Mother? Droney bodying the 9 key. Get wrecked. Boop. Doesn't even need the boop. Cowbell power walking to a 6-0 panic point advantage. Drones carried. I mean, that's what they do, right? That's what they do. Bad guy on the ropes, flailing. Yeah, I don't think any of this is getting you out of fighting what's on the board, let alone the 7 keys remaining for our hero. Cowbell about to slap the snot out of this Gin Sting. Droney, the assassin. I love how the little, the light on Droney's face turns red when it attacks. I never realized the heart beating when entering a match. What do you mean? I mean, it's always beating. It just speeds up when you're dying. And then there's also the spikes that show up when there's a panic point differential. Sounds... Oh, you never noticed the heart beating sound. Okay. Chat, Flesh Crawler for the 2nd time today. Believe it or not. And then there was Crushmore. Very well played by our hero. Never really felt in doubt. Just taking over the game. Well played. Droney did put in a lot of work. Bad guy just never really respected it. Also, that's kind of funny. Bad guy going out under their own or on their own terms. GG. Well played. What's this now? Oh. I'm getting pings in Discord, so one... Alright, chat. I believe this is the last unique game, and we'll be cycling back to get some repeats for people on the way back in. Renamon on Always Watching.
Yes.
That's the only note. I don't know what that means. We're going to find out. I feel like... I wonder how many of these games... Like, there is no world in which you're like, you know what I'm doing this game? I'm going gargles first. Unless you're intentionally trying to meme. Right? And if that's true, how many games did you try memeing before it worked? Like, what the hell is this? It's got to be a dimensional event, right? Turn 1 gargles into Firkin. Dimensional event? Yeah. Who the hell would have thought that would happen? Gargles. Get Firked. That's a thing, apparently. So, bad guy is kind of doing dimensional event, but then is like, I'm on Team Bug. We got Maggie, we got Wiggy, and we got Potatoes. Bugsy Potatoes or something. I don't know what's happening, chat. This game is weird. This is super weird. Wiggy, not long for this world, but does claim, or Maggie rather, but does claim a panic point. Wiggy's probably not long for this world either. Little Cyclops action. This is a dead potato? Why put the Baba Yaga there? The only thing I could think is just baiting those two to stay so that you can hit them with the Noxious. That seems weird. You can still hit them with the Noxious. Man, like that probably didn't work out for you, bad guy. Free potatoes. Snot monsters. You know what? That's actually something we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen a lot of Quagmire lately, chat. That's interesting. Admittedly, Quagmire is kind of a big dummy phobie. You know, you don't... There aren't very many clever plays you can set up with Quagmire, right? It's just, I'm a big dummy, I'm a mound of HP, and it's difficult for you to actually... You have to heal, little Clinico going on. Bad guy with a panic point advantage, you got to do something, but the snot monster is, as mentioned, going to be very difficult to remove. Although there is a lot of pressure down here. You got Wiggy, you got double hits from Gesundheit, you got double hits from Cyclops. We're going to be encroaching on the territory where that guy could make a hard push soon. Down goes the germ. Honestly, you could see a world where the Noxious just flies down to the southern panic point to stabilize. But I think Renamon wants to keep it in order to try and threaten the top. And we do get the Graylien follow-up, a Renamon Classic, in order to actually get things in range of said Noxious. Snot monster taking a beating. Cooked snot. Disgusting. Imagine not going pure dimensional. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Snot Monster actually survives. That's a big feels bad moment for bad guy. Second Noxious Spit on double dimensional. Huge oof if you're bad guy. That's a big oof moment. I feel as though the Graylien could have been positioned such that it could have been farther south. Snot Monster goes down. Bad guy trying to get value out of the units that are inevitably going to die. Sure, Firkin on Firkin, because why not? And the Clinico is just not really doing a whole hell of a lot here. Takedown here. Gonna be a takedown here. The Graylien swap for the Cassowary. This will be a takedown. Noxious can, of course, supplement. Bad guy with 5 keys and not a lot else to show. That be a Cyclops. Do be a Cyclops. One takedown in the books for bad guy. More than that, but whatever. I don't think that's dead. Should have gone Smiley. Sure. Sure. Grayline's just gonna dip, and there's really nothing bad guy can do about it. Our hero stabilized a long time ago. I don't know that there's anything bad guy can do to even make this a game at this stage. I guess they're going to take down the Firkin, maybe? I don't even know if they have Fireball up. This Noxious is activated 3 times this game, chat. That kind of tells you all you need to know. If Noxious gets to go off 3 times, I feel like you're in a pretty damn good spot. It feels like you're in a pretty good spot. Birkin pays for its sins, but, like... Does it, though? Does it, though? This feels like a W for our hero. Challenge play into the double kill. It's all over but the crying, chat. It's all over but the crying. That guy was able to put on some early pressure, but this feels like it went into Renamon's favor and not with much difficulty. Of course, we got to get one last switcher you. Fourth Poison Spit. Nope. Finish him off with the trap. GG. Well played. That one felt very systematic, is the way I'll put it. Did not feel like there was any risk to our hero at any point. Well, maybe not at any point. But past a certain stage in that game, it was just like, all right, corner's turned and we're not looking back. Second Dino Nuggy game of the evening. This time we're looking at Opticon. I like how most of this game I had 2 and 3 keys compared to their 5 and 6 key Phobies. Hey, you gotta threaten what you gotta threaten. Remember going against the same opponent over and over again. They kept switching between doing the event with me and going something else to win. I got annoyed when they had Smiley, Spaghetti, Akira, so I ended up breaking my own rule with and annihilated them with Smiley and Boss. I didn't get a 4th match with that. That's kind of funny. Yeah, we've talked about the events before. I do like the event system. I'm hoping that this year they introduce other things to the event system other than just types of Phobies. Like, that's a fine start, but we've had a year of that. There's got to be better ways for other things they can do. And I really hope that there's some concerted efforts to fix the economy. No other way to put it. I'm not expecting there to be, but I hope there is. Like, if I had to make a wish list for the Phobies 2-year anniversary, is this a dead Gin Sting? Nope. Fortitude Panic Point advantage, though. If I had to make a wish list, it would be fix the economy. Well, do more marketing. Fix the economy. And then add tournament mode. Maybe add cosmetics and then balance. Probably be my top 5, I think. But the thing is that fixing the economy is like 45 different parts. So it's difficult to say that number 5 is balance. Bloat! God knows Phobies needs marketing. It does. It's difficult, though. I've been around multiple games. I usually go to Mythgard, who had like big picture game problem solved. I mean, the first one isn't really fixing the game, you know what I mean? And the game, honestly, for the most part, doesn't need to be fixed. Like, to me, fixing the game is there's balance issues or there's something broken. I don't think that's really the case. But Mythgard is the example I usually go to, where they explicitly stated that marketing was the reason that the game died. Because they couldn't... Nobody knew what the hell Mythgard was. They didn't know it existed. And honestly, they weren't selling a lot of stuff. Phobies does need more people. I can't believe this. Is this really going to die? I was talking this whole time, but... Wow! Bad guy. That's bad news. GG. Like, that's almost game there. You kill a Hevo for free? Come on. Okay, it's not entirely for free. It's not entirely for free. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. But yeah, the biggest issue is that I don't think most people know that Phobies exists, or even if they know it exists, they don't really know what it's all about. I know Karst has put in a lot of effort for new player guides, but I think they need to be on YouTube, specifically, which is kind of a shot at me. Boss could wipe all these fragile Phobies. Gotta have Boss. Gotta be on the board. But yes, Boss would be a problem here. Primate? Not a thing I expected. Yeah, I think I need to make some new player guides. I need to be like, this is how you get started in Phobies. It would be good evergreen content for me. It would also be valuable in general for the community. Bloat would have destroyed Boss, clearly. Boo, Fairy! Why are Boo Fairy's elbows so shaggy? Why are they so shaggy? I only came across Phobies because I was looking for chess/strategy games. I came across it because someone else suggested it to me. I would have never found Phobies. I just wouldn't have. So I'm glad that it was suggested to me, because now I've been playing it for almost 2 years straight. I don't know about this invade. Well, I guess if you... Yeah, you can kill the primate. Never mind. Down goes primate. All of a sudden, bad guy's down to 5 keys. I came across it because my brother introduced it to me. The word of mouth thing definitely happens, but in order to grow at the scale that's often necessary for free-to-play mobile games, you need more than that. Depending on the audience. You know, like Fortnite naturally has a young population, we'll say. So does like Call of Duty. Plus Call of Duty is, like everybody expects it like the new Madden every year. But Fortnite, if it's like every teenager plays it, every screeching preteen, then like that's a lot. And they obviously talk to each other. But when you're talking about a cerebral strategy game like this, you're not necessarily going to have the volume to just be like, oh yeah, we're just going to do word of mouth. To be honest, Fortnite is not a bad game. I've talked about this before. I think it is a competent shooter. Seriously, bad guy just offers up their phobies to get picked apart here this entire game. Like, every turn, Dino Nuggy's like, oh, I'm going to kill that guy. Oh, I'm going to kill that guy. All right, now I'm going to kill that guy. Then I'm going to kill that guy. And I'm going to kill that guy. And it's just gone on all game. Bad guy trying to make a comeback here, but I think Boo Fairy is going to power down something, and then the other something is going to die. While the mucus monster causes sinus problems for the walking eyeball. Nope, we're just going to slap the snot out of Klepto. Also a thing that can be done. Dino. Dino, really? Really? Get cupcaked. I should make that into a channel point redemption. Stabby and Stairmaster trying to hold down the fort. Good luck, guys. Good luck. I hate how I don't have Klepto and Stabby, so I'm going to use Cupcake. I know, I'm just... It's fine. I don't fault people, like... Okay, we'll talk about this after the game, but to preface it... Well, the game's about to end, so I guess... There's 4 turns left. I guess it's just chasing down Stairmaster at this point. Somebody recently commented in chat, like, oh, did you know that there's somebody's keeping a list of everyone who uses cupcakes, so that way we can, like, shame them, I guess? I don't know what that means. Like, what good does it know other than to, like, oh, there's the potential I could get cupcaked? I talked about this earlier when we were playing, and when we were going through Fright Night, but, like, maybe it was last night? Like, if you lose to Cupcake, it's a skill issue. Oh, I didn't know they had it. Well, guess what? That happened with Snowball for lots of people when Snowball first started showing up. That doesn't make it not a skill issue. Now, you can argue and debate about whether it's healthy for Cupcake to exist or the way it warps gameplay patterns and whatever. But realistically, it's like... It's just like any other phobia. It's just like any other phobia. It impacts the game probably it impacts the game disproportionately more than it should. But I don't think there's an excuse for, oh, they surprised me with Cupcake. There's some maps you can do nothing about it, but, like, it's in the game. It's there. I will not get upset with people for using in-game resources like that. I just can't. It's part of the game. It's the way it is. The thing I like about having an alt to climb up is viewing how much harder it is to get to the top and how much longer it takes to find a match. Get to experience what people starting out experience. Does it really take longer at low ranks to get a match? I mean, I know the bots are in there until whenever. And I'm always curious about where the population exists in Phobies. You know what I mean? Like, how many people are below Sum of All Fears? Not specifically in any given league. But like, how many people are in these 5 before you get Sum of All Fears? Versus how many people are trapped around Doomsday 3, Sum of All Fears? Honestly, I would expect you, Kuro, to, like, shoot up to high Doomsday very quickly. I don't think it's very difficult to get there. The problem is, once you do, then it's going to be really challenging, especially now, because you're going to hit all those people that have more money than skill, or have just been playing long enough and been just derping around. You know, like, they're not playing Phobies seriously, so they were able to acquire a bunch of stuff, either collection or stress levels, or both, and then as a result, they're just going to crap on people that are lower level, because, not necessarily because they outplay them, but, like, they just have the beat stick to bludgeon you with. So, it can be tough. I could definitely see that being difficult. Chat, we finished these very quickly. We finished this all very quickly. Bro, I thought you had said there was another game on there that you had, which it doesn't look like there is. I thought you said something against Karth, but I only see the one game in there. Jesus. Oh, this is the stupid game. Well, we went through a whole bunch of quick games, but I'm going to let this one load and just let people stew on it for a little while. We haven't quite had this level of troll game in a while. We've had longer games than this submitted. I mean, you don't have to submit a game, Cora. Don't have to. We might do, like, one more after this, even though we would finish up early. I'll be honest, I'm tired after Fright Night. Like, I'm beat. I feel like at some point in year 1 of the game, there were people who were desperately trying to find out if there's an upper limit to the number of turns in a game. And I don't remember. What we're going to do is we're going to let this play out until it's quite clearly a stalemate, and then I'm going to click through turns. But this is obviously a meme game. Clearly people were not truly trying to win. Who's trying to get to 1,000 with me? Yeah, Do you know how long that would take? Past turn 150, I think everybody involved would get very bored. Like, exceptionally bored. I don't even know how this game got to 104 turns. There's a Grimes on the board now against a bunch of low keys. How did this even happen? Unbearable, huh? I guess, sure. We did see Unbearable actually put in work earlier today. It's funny, chat. Like, Phobies, I think, is way more interesting at level 1. Phobies is way more interesting at level 1. The relationships between the phobies and the strategies are just way better. When things are, oops, I outlevel you by 1 billion, or even just generally on the ladder where things aren't quite even, it just doesn't feel right. There's a level of variance involved simply because that's what happens, which I think detracts from the game overall. All right, there's an attractor on the board with Grimes. How does this game go 100 turns? This is stupid. Noxious, huh? I mean, this is a somewhat interesting game up to this point. But, like, that doesn't seem right. What the fuck? All right, this is obviously trying to bait the Noxious in. Down goes Cassowary. You might be able to snipe the Unbearable anyway. Chat being weird once again. Grimes is going to eat. There's the gravestones. We kind of need that for Jaws. They should have made it Grimes versus Jaws. I'm so mad about that Grimes game. I'm pretty upset about that Grimes game. By the way, this is a great Noxious hit. Of course, our hero will be able to heal some of this, but not all of it. All right, we got a Muffin. Are we going to bother healing the Bachelor? Looks like no. Dueling Noxious. Chat, I don't understand how this game goes on. Like, it's got to get reduced into a weird stalemate, and then both players are just avoiding each other for 100 turns, which, I mean, yes. I don't know. Poison onto the opposing Noxious. How fitting. Pop. Desperately trying not to get hit with a tractor, but, like, at what cost? Down goes the cat. Growing the Grimes. Bet you wish you had that Noxious spit back now. One key remaining for bad guys, 0 for our hero right now. Or ever. It's not like they're getting keys back. Tractor does go down. Ooh, not enough to kill the Erratic. That's rough. Obviously, the target is Noxious here. Bad guy being aggressive about it. Interesting. The 2v1, Grimes versus Contortio Radic. It's going to be a very stupid game of keep away. I think this is where we start skipping turns. Now they're not even moving. I hate everything about this. I hate everything about this. Why is this happening? This is why maps shouldn't have an even number of panic points. Admittedly, Bad Guy did put in some effort. So 1,300 damage. Sometimes you just go for the throat. A battle of wills and chicken. I think it was just a battle of consciousness. Which player fell asleep at their keyboard first? Grimes is a pretty good heart rusher. High five, eat your heart out. GG. That's a thing, chat. I probably will use 104 turns for the thumbnail because, like, that'll be a good clickbaity title. You know what I mean? I didn't even read the notes. I just realized. Go to, like, turn 40 and skip turns until 96. Anyways, enjoy the Grimes waltz. Sure. All right, chat. We might do this one and then call it in the evening because I think we're on game 11. They were kind of short tonight, obviously, but that's okay. Bloat should be the thumbnail. I mean, I can make bloat the thumbnail. Be, like, super misleading about it. So I put bloat on the thumbnail, right? But then I'm like, 104 turn game? How did they win? And then put bloat, and then people are going to be like, what fucking game are you talking about? The next 20 games submitted are over 100. Yeah. I mean, if people really want to do that, if they're going to waste their time, I'll just skip through them like I did here. It's not like... And then people are going to be like, well, you didn't watch my whole game. And I'm going to be like, get wrecked, nerd. I don't care. I don't care. All right. Karst jumping in here once again. Highlights Megalo tempo issues. Interesting decisions by Bad Guy. Okay. If it's interesting decisions, is that more of an impact than the tempo issues? Like, I don't mind Megalo that much, to be honest. Like, we saw the earlier game with Karst with the tempo plays on detention, but I think that was almost exclusively due to the decisions that were made by Bad Guy in that game. So then the question becomes, can you capitalize on tempo negative plays, or is that just not possible on Megalo or other maps? And I guess we'll have to find out. Who won Fright Night? Had to leave before the final match. Spoilers. It was A-Markin. Chat, well, chat beat me to it. It beat me to it. Yeah, A-Markin took it down. They were wild, wild games. Gonna go up at the end of the week. I gotta find out how to, like, get more eyeballs on the tournament games, because I think people really need to see them. I also got to figure out how to get more people to play in them. Like, I'm pretty close to saying we're not going to do Fright Night anymore. We're instead just going to do Monster of the Week and other variations of it, because I said it earlier. Yeah, we get a little glob action. Hopefully no bugs. I said it earlier, but, like, we had 23 people sign up. Only 13 played. Like, That's barely more than Monster of the Week. Admittedly, Monster of the Week, sometimes we struggle to get people too, but... So Karst banked to 11. Decided to go Akira into Glob. What's funny is they banked so much, they can follow up the Akira with, like, a threat. Smiley. I don't know if I love this. This is... Okay, so... I didn't sign in, so I didn't get to play. Thought it was Wednesday. Yep. It's like, wait, so you're saying the Fright Night that happens in January, I need to sign up in July, right? Wait, what? I want to play in tournaments, but I can't do... Yeah, I mean, that's fair, Dino. Like, I want to work on other time zones and other opportunities for people, but... What the hell is happening? If you don't kill this... What? Yeah, okay, so Karst wasn't kidding when they said interesting plays. Like, what the hell is this? Okay, Karst does love doing Akira Glob. That's kind of a Karst signature. This is the thing about Akira. I think there are interesting plays to be made with it and interesting strategies that can show up, but at the same time, it just feels like the map pool sometimes does not allow for Akira to be... There are some maps where Akira is just fucking oppressive. And it might be every map, to be honest, but... In this case, we get a little walk the glob. So the tempo issues that I think Karst is trying to highlight is that Karst was able to bank to like almost 14 keys because they went Akira into a 5 key. Could have gone into a 5 key. And there wasn't really much that Yune had done to capitalize on it. Admittedly, there's one less panic point here than on detention. So at best, you're really getting a 2-to-1 panic point advantage. I feel like you're better off getting the Akira here than the Glob. Because obviously the Smiley's dead, but then again, this is a 2-for-2 because you're gonna lose the Gravedigger, and then you're gonna lose the Smiley. So you're trading key negative here. I don't know. I don't know about this one. But I get where Karst is coming from with the tempo plays being problematic here, because how could Yune have actually pressed the advantage they had with Karst doing quote-unquote nothing earlier in the game? I'm not sure they could. I also... What? Squiggles blue? Alright, get globbed, I guess. I think the glob is just dead. Glob! I guess the idea here is that this prevents, like, a sprint across the top, but, like, I don't even know that that does anything. First time seeing glob on glob. We've had a few of those, actually. I learned recently that glob can't be pulled off. What? What do you mean it can't? You can displace glob. Blue! Triple connection. Not like it matters for glob, but... It can't be pulled with Akira? I don't know that that's ever come up that I've witnessed. I assume what happens is that, like, they both move in unison. Which makes sense, because it's going to pull both of them in the same direction, so even if they moved independently, the glob is just going to end up re-consuming it. The only time it would be weird is if there's a glob eating a glob. Does the second moved glob now become the consumer as opposed to the consume-e? Wait, you couldn't yoink glob with spider? That can't be right. That has to be a bug. Like, with, like, Akira pulling stuff, that logically makes sense on why that wouldn't work. It makes no sense as to why you can't do it with spider. You should 100% be able to do that. I still killed the glob, but I was confused. You should 100% be able to pull the glob. I'm pretty sure I've done it. Like I said, with an Akira, it logically makes sense, because effectively, they're going to end up in the same position anyway. With the exception of, like, some weird interaction where the glob, if it's a glob eating a glob and they flip places or something. But Akira, or not Akira, with glob, where are you? Yeah, if glob is pushed/pulled, the enemy is freed. You 100% should be able to pull glob. So I'd have to see it to understand why that didn't work. I'd have to see it, because that makes no sense. Can I go to Russell? Yeah. One of my favorite phobies, even though he's terrible. I'm glad Russell's bad. I say this when... Russell! There we go. Russell action. Haven't seen one of those in a while. You can even pull a glob that's hit by Rusty? Yeah. Rusty doesn't prevent the actual displacement. Rusty doesn't prevent the displacement. Chat. Today was a long day. My shoulder hurts. My shoulder really hurts. After I get my surgery, I gotta go to physical therapy or something. Get this fixed. So chat, if you played in Fright Night, or if you didn't play in Fright Night, hit me up with some feedback. I'm gonna try and put together a survey form, like I've done in the past, to try and garner feedback, try and get ideas for how we can improve, how we can grow the events. See what we can do going forward. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed with the turnout for this one. It's always been a struggle. Like, we have to try and push to get people to play. There are people who religiously play, but it's often we have a lot of people sign up and then they no-show for a variety of reasons. So it's unfortunate, but I'm trying to see what else we can do. I think that these sort of events are great for Phobies, but I guess we have to convince other people that they are. To garner interest, both viewing, whether it's here on the stream, it's on YouTube, as well as playing in them. I'd love to host more stuff. I'd love to justify paying for the premium version of the tournament bot, because it would make my life way easier for running the events. But I can't run Fright Night through the tournament bot, because we usually have more than the maximum of 8 people. At least this time it wasn't that much. It is what it is. But yeah, we're going to call it an evening, chat. Very early by usual streaming standards, but I'm both tired and we ran through a whole bunch of games pretty quickly. So we'll be back we'll be back tomorrow for Variety. And we'll be back next week, barring catastrophe. I do have some real-life tournaments that I am going to be attending over the next couple of weeks. So we may have some delayed stream starts or some oddball schedules, depending on how things go. That's about it. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.